This is the first picture that I have received. I do not know if the video was released or the interview was broadcasted, but this is the first picture that was leaked from Stephen Colbert, his interview with Harry. Few things I want to make mention of. Number one, Harry's book. It was never about truth. It was all about lies, a lot of porkies. This is why Sky News, they have reported saying that Harry was brutally mocked by Stephen Colbert. I hope that is the case. Again, I have not watched it. I don't think it was aired already, but he was allegedly, again, according to Sky News, was mocked, brutally mocked. As you can see from this picture, it is also very, very obvious that Stephen Colbert had a very good time with Harry, mocking his book, insulting what he wrote, his personal accounts about his virginity with the Taliban experience and all that. He was taken by storm by Stephen Colbert. And this is why now I'm interested to watch this show, this interview. But one thing we can see from Harry's body language, if you see here, obviously he's doing something absolutely funny, absolutely silly, absolutely ridiculous. He is sitting there after doing what he did, putting his whole family at risk by telling or writing those things about Taliban. He is enjoying his time. He doesn't have any problem with what he did. He doesn't have any problem that people are calling him out. People are calling him shameless. People are calling him insensitive, immature. He is there as if nothing has happened. As you can see from the picture, it is very, very clear. What is also very, very clear is that every time Meghan and Harry, they do something outrageous, they go in front of a camera and they act as if nothing has happened. Even though Meghan, she said a lot of negative things about the British monarchy, but voila, the next time you see her giving an interview, she's acting absolutely fine. One last point I want to also make mention of about Harry. Look, his body language, I mean, I don't know what he's doing, but this is when he was taking a shot of tequila. One thing I want to make mention of, this is my last point, and that is that if you remember, they came to New York to take the award, Hope Function Award, something like that. And the main purpose for that award was that they stood up against structural racism in the British monarchy, quote unquote. Nevertheless, when he was asked about racism in the British monarchy, he immediately said, no, there is no racism. This is a guy who changes his narrative. He changes his stories every single time to fit to the audience. As some of you have pointed out, sometimes he will change the story for his audiences in UK, sometimes for US. This is a guy who has learned or mastered, I should say, all of these tricks from his super trickster, the biggest trickster in the world probably, Meghan Markle. Every time you see him now doing whatever he's doing, it is coming from somebody who is training him day and night, and that is his own wife. Unfortunate, but as they say, if you have a bad company, if your friends are bad, if they have a negative influence, then obviously you're going to behave exactly that way. As you can also see, Stephen Colbert, he is laughing at him. He is like, oh man, I cannot believe I have invited this silly person. Now, one thing we all know, Stephen Colbert is, to me, looks like he's very, very liberal. He's on the left side, right? Nevertheless, he did not spare Harry at all when it comes to mocking his book. In this picture, it is very, very clear, very, very obvious that Stephen Colbert, he was taking an aim at Harry and his book in such a way that it is going to be very, very entertaining. And I think at the same time, in the future, I don't see Harry coming back to Stephen Colbert's show, not unless there is something big happen again. Why? Because Stephen Colbert, he knows, and we all know, that inviting this person can only be done, you can only invite Harry and Meghan, only when you really need to make fun of them, when you need to use them. Nobody trusts their story. It is just good time. People are watching what they're saying. Some people are reading what he wrote. Why not invite them? it will have no gravitas. No gravitas. Every time they go to an interview, they will be mocked, especially by people like Stephen Colbert. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video.